Hello everyone. Hi, Darshu and Praneeth. I think only few of you have joined now. Okay, I'll just wait for a few more minutes so that a few of your classmates can join. Then we'll begin the session. I'm sharing the link for Mentimeter in the group. Sorry, in the chat. For people are joining. So those of you are here, you are able to see the link, right? I have shared it in the chat again. Okay, two of you have already joined. Okay, so I think we can begin. Let's others can log in like whenever they can. Okay, so welcome to today's session of the course Humanities Unplugged. So this is week 4 of the live session. So as usual, I have put together a few questions for you and few tasks, and we can just begin with it. So okay, is Mahesh here? Like last week, you wanted to talk about some Ace of Fails, like fables, right? I couldn't let you talk due to the time constraint. I think is this the same Mahesh or different Mahesh?
Ma'am, I think
Okay.
so. It says a different Mahesh. Maheshwar.
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, we have two Maheshes in the class. Yeah. Okay, after he joins, we can hear him out. He wanted to share about the Ace of Fables. Okay. So last class, I just wanted to talk about subculture and counterculture. Then we can move on to the session today. So last class we were discussing about popular culture, right? And then we spoke about what are subcultures. So I just wanted to again give you a definition because I couldn't complete it due to the time constraint. So I just wanted you to give you a simple example and simple definition of subculture. So this one I think I took from one of the dictionary, Cambridge definition. This is like the standard definition of subculture. It's a way of life, customs, and ideas of a particular group of people within a society which are different from the rest of the society. So I think I think he was the one who even asked in the discussion forum whether Protestantism can be considered as a subculture of Roman Catholicism. No, it cannot be, because even though it came as a reform movement from the Catholicism, but it has its own rules and belief system and value system, and it is a separate religion. It became a separate religion. But subculture means it is from the larger group, but it is expressed in a different way. Say, for example, we spoke about different cultures, right? So, for example, punk culture or going goths or like anime or cosplay fans or like skateboarders. So, these are all the different forms of subculture that exist within popular culture. So, these can be considered as subculture. Whereas counterculture is it is a way of life and set of ideas that are completely different from those accepted by most of the society or group of people who live this way. So, counterculture, like we saw, the protest songs we saw, right? And counterculture became very prominent during the Second World War, like during the 1940s to 1960s, with the Beat Generation and authors like Alan Ginsberg, like Kerouac, so many others. They were front runners in this counterculture. So we can see counterculture is something that goes against or the existing belief system or value system. Like the protest songs, they were protesting for something, right? Like for like labor rights or suffrage movements or feminist movements and Black Lives Matter, like Me Too movement, and against the war, suffrage, and the Vietnam War. And so all of these come under counterculture. And all countercultures are subcultures, but all subcultures are not countercultures. So it can be confusing. So let me tell you, because all countercultures, they mushroom from subculture, right? So the basic difference is subculture is not against anything. It's just different from the normal norms. Okay. It's not like it's expressing themselves differently. But counterculture is against, going against something, like protesting against. So we can see. So all counterculture come from subculture, but all subcultures need not be a counterculture, because not every culture is for protest, right? To just being different. Like I said, like going goth or going punk, it doesn't mean it's not rebelling against anything. It's just going away or moving away, transgressing from an existing way of dressing. So like we have a normal way of dressing, right? For men and for women. And being punk or being goth, it just deviates from the way of dressing, right? So it can be, it is called subculture. Whereas like counterculture, like I said, these hippie movements, anti-war movements, feminized movements, feminist movements, and this anti-caste movements, protest songs, all of these come under counterculture. So yeah, I just want to explain this before we move into our topic of discussion today. Okay, so I think Yash is not here because he was the one who was asking me in the about counterculture or subculture in the discussion forum. Anyway, I wanted to explain it to the whole class now. So now it's clear since we discussed popular culture, we also need to talk about subculture and counterculture as well. So like I gave you a very contemporary example, right? In Instagram, while all everyone are trying to influence me into buying this product, that product, there is this trend going on where some people talk about, let me de-influence you. Like you needn't need these much dresses or these much product, because so they here we can see they're clearly going against, like deviating. So it can be considered as a subculture. Whereas people who are protesting in the is to social media, like say like for in favor of a protest or vouching for a protest, so it can be considered as counterculture. So we have these contemporary examples that exist even in this digital spaces as well. We have subculture as well as counterculture that coexist in social media spaces as well. Okay. So with that, I think you might have all seen the video for the last session. We spoke about, the video talks about how social change happens in the society, social activism, and grassroots movements, right? So now let me put this question first. When you hear the words social change, what comes to your mind? What do you mean by social change? Anything. It can be a movement or it can be an idea, anything, a book, a movie, something, some person, reformer that connects you to the word social change as well. Yes, secularism. Okay. Oh, you want me to resend the Mentimeter link? Yes, yes, I'm sending it. Human revolution. Okay, powerful words. Okay, you put feminine. Okay, I think you wanted to write feminism or okay. Casteism or anti-casteism? Okay, social change. Okay, now why do we need social change? What do you mean social change? So, like, even I remember in the session we were talking about history. Why should we read about history? Most of you were saying that we shouldn't repeat the same mistakes our ancestors did. You said moral values, reforms. So, likewise, we are part of a society, right? We are a big part of this bigger society. We are part of this collective. So, we have certain value system, belief system, and so many systems in place. So, if some injustice is happening to a people, we need to be able to support them, right? And we need justice, we need a social change immediately. So even we have a lot of these, we have seen a lot of these protests, right? Like recently, like not recently, but for a very long time, like farmers have been protesting against their rights, and health line workers. And we can see like a lot of people, if they are unhappy with the things that go in the job or in a society, how certain things function, they bring into the attention of the people, right? And if it is not helpful, they take it matter to their own hands. They want a reformation. So they gather people with similar like-minded ideas and they put forth their needs or demands. So that's what basically happens in a protest, right? Even in schools or colleges, if students are unhappy with, say, a rule or something or some kind of restriction or any curfew, they put up a protest, right? So the first thing is like we need to go on negotiate with them. Okay, what are your demands? What do you need that? So there is a negotiation happening. So what brings forth the negotiation in place is that the protest. So the protest or the reformation or first thing is social change. So what do you need for a social change? You need an idea and you need something different. Okay. Industrialization, resistance. Very good. That was the word. Okay, it's renaissance. Okay, sorry. I read it as resistance because, yeah. Yes, women empowerment. Yes, wonderful. Like these are all different forms of social change. But the first thing you need is like you need resistance, right? Like I said, okay, so if you are unhappy with certain things in your, say, in your institution or job, okay, some like so the salary is not enough for the workers or we are working overshift. So you're first resisting something, right? You're thinking like, no, this is not doable if I cannot work more than 8 hours a day. So it's too much. Like, so you put forth this idea to your superior or the person in charge. So there is a resistance. Then you put up a protest. Then there is a negotiation. Then there is a result. Okay. So now we spoke about social change, resistant protest movements, and we saw different types of social changes. Right? We have seen protest, and we even put up a story on Instagram with certain hashtags like boycotting something or favoring something. And so we have different mediums. Like we have been discussing about the different forms of medium. We even spoke about how political campaigns, ad campaigns, so many other mediums are there, right? So, which medium do you think has the most power to trigger a social change today? Say, like movies, music, social media, art, literature. Okay, all of you have unanimously voted for social media. Yes. So, why do you think? Why do you think that way? Why social media? Because like all of these are very powerful medium, right? We spoke about movies, like it's a very immersive experience. When music, we saw popular pop culture icons, they use music. It's a very powerful medium against. We have this entire genre called protest music, and even art and literature like these. I spoke about like Allen Ginsberg or John Kerouac, like so many other. There are so many other artists and literary figures who wrote about social change. So why do you all think social media has the power? We can unmute yourself and talk. Maybe I think I should talk less. I'm going on and on. I'm not giving you opportunity to talk. Yes, tell me, you voted social media. Why do you think? Any reason? It's
Nowadays,
accessible. Yes, Praneeth.
nowadays everyone have social media, so it is easy to communicate and share news with anyone. So social media is better than other three in conveying
Yes.
something.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you so much, Praneeth. It's the accessibility, right? Now everyone have a social media. Like if at least all of us are Instagram or WhatsApp, I have access to you, right? So I can just ping you at once and I can gather more people. Like I said, like when we had all these protest movements, like this Black Lives Matter or Me Too movement or anything, like whatever is now is like going on this like Israel-Palestine war, immediately we are able to respond, right? There is this participatory culture. So the moment something global happens, like globally, internationally, or within India, I have access to speak my mind, right? I can put up a story in favor of something or boycotting something or even supporting, vouching for. So it's like my story itself, it has the power to bring in change, right? Like he said, it's very accessible. So imagine like if I have to gather some 100 people and I'm asked them to come to a spot, so I go there and I protest. So that is also very powerful, and that is like the common mode of protest. But now like as like we are like students, like we are from different parts of the society, so it's difficult to gather people, right? So now we are all connected like via social media or internet or this Zoom, right? We are all from different parts of the country. So now what is it connecting? This one common factor, right? So social media, it is very easier to mobilize the people. Like I can just sit at home and I can speak my mind. I can post something in favor or against something, and I can, if someone is vouching for or protesting for a good cause, I can show them my support, right? I stand with you. Because like this hashtag movements like me too. I'm like I keep on bringing it, but we can see like how powerful it was. Like it just started with one confession and it led to like a huge movement, right? This social movement, and we had so many people like celebrities, common people from like lot of people from different parts of the world, different parts of the different like profession as well, like from celebrity to commoners to so many others. Like that movement gave them the power to come out of their shell or to just even talk about what they have been through, the injustice that has been done to them. So we can see like social media has that power to mobilize people, right? Yes, like lot of people, like we put certain things in our bio, right? Like how would we like to be called, or like I'm supporting this or against this. We have like labels, like what am I, like which movement am I following. So yeah, of course it gives the accessibility, and it's very easier and it's very powerful and it's participatory also. Yes, wonderful. Okay, so I think everyone can find the song, pretty sure. Yes. Okay, I'm just waiting for some more responses. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Most of you got. Yes. So the moment I put up the first line of the song, "We Shall Overcome." Now you're all familiar with the civil rights movement, right? So that's the power we are talking about. The slogan song. Even we spoke about the advertisement songs also, right? Like how we remember those. It's like a earworm. Even though we don't pay attention, we keep remembering it, like these jingles and this slogan. It's very, very powerful, right? Especially if it is from a huge movement like the civil rights movement. I think we grew up listening to this song, singing to this song in our school and colleges. So we can see like how one music or one song or one slogan, it becomes very powerful. Like there are so many other powerful slogans. This was the quickest example I could think of. Like I'm pretty sure you all can come up with different examples, right? We can associate with different movements. So like a lot of these movements or a lot of these social organizations, they have this anthem or slogan which drives them, right? Because they need to have a motto, like they need to have a purpose, like why am I protesting, what is this song about, like sorry, what is this organization about? So it gives them a purpose. So all of these social organizations, they have a motto, they have a purpose, like why are they doing it, what are they protesting against, and what do they want. So wonderful. Okay. So now I think you saw about the Chipko movement in the video, and I think otherwise also you're all familiar with this Chipko or the tree hugging movement done by the locals who protested against the chopping down of trees. So why do you think grassroots movements like this are more important or significant, and they often succeed when top-down policies fail? So, and also we can also talk about this is something like social activists versus policymakers. Of course, they both are very significant and very important for making a change, but the change should begin from the root of the problem, right? So these are the publics, or these are the people who are directly affected by the cutting down of the trees or the felling of the trees. So they took their matter into their own hands and they succeeded in making the policy. So why do you think, like, I want answers, then we'll take it from there. Yes, you can unmute yourself and talk also, because I know difficult, like typing could be difficult or it take time. Anyway, I'll wait for the response. Yes, these types of movements had the majority of rural people. Though India is occupied by rural people, it caused them to succeed. Yes, yes, like I said, it was like the locals, like the people who are directly affected by the felling of the trees, people who live in the neighborhood. Yeah, people whose life are dependent on the forest and the trees. Yes, because it started by small communities and made huge sensation across the whole community. Yes, yes, like even I said, like all these movements often start from a small scale level, right? Because like if it is a student led movement, or if it is based on a profession, if it's like farmers want something, it is begin by the farmers, like belonging to that particular village or that state. Then it becomes a global issue, like as after they get the attention. And even the health line workers, it will be behind from a single hospital, or like nurses belonging to a single hospital, then they mobilize nurses from all over the country or all over the state. When student protests begin like that, right? It begins from one university, say like any university of that matter, and then it becomes a national level or like international or a global issues. Yes, even climate change activists as well. It starts with one or two, then like even like Greta Thunberg, I think pretty sure we're all are aware of her. So it starts with like one person or a group of people or a group of students or a group of workers who work for the same organization. Then it is escalated to a huge level, right? Yes, of course, like I said, policy makers and the social activists, they need to work hand in hand, and they are both significant for bringing in a social reform or bringing in any reformation bill or pass a law. But it is the more like the movement is started by social activists, right? Yes, yes, Praneeth, you want to say anything? You can just stop me any minute and you can speak. Yes, yes.
Actually, it's a kind of a unique moment because in a world that not witnessed like hugging trees and being so, it became very popular and sensational. It drive a global attention. So the
Yes.
government is also forced to stop that. So just I don't want to interrupt. So
Yes, yes. No, no, you can interrupt me. I want to interact with you all. So it's not just a monologue, it's more like a discussion. So you can always like you can you can interrupt me. I can contribute. You can. Yeah. So yeah, like he said, it's like a simple act. Like they just don't want to let go of the tree. So they just went and hugged the tree. They didn't like it's a very subtle form of protest, but again we can say it's a very popular, significant, and even till now we are talking about it, right? So yeah, that is the power of such movements, right? Yeah. So how many of us even remembers the bills or any policies that is being made in the parliament or constitution? But these movements, it stays with us, right? And it also inspires us. Yeah, and now like hugging the tree or like it is like a commonly practiced habit now, like whenever you feel overwhelmed or you feel close to nature, you want to feel grounded. Now we are like we can go and hug the trees, right? Yes, like we should be protecting the trees. And I think yeah, all of us should be hugging the trees instead of like felling the trees. So a simple such act of hugging the tree, it could be like a powerful movement, like Praneeth said. It just started with a few people hugging the tree, and now look at the impact it has now. Yeah, like I said, even though like policymakers are very important for making such things, it begins with these kinds of social activism, right? So it could be anyone, not just social activists. It could be anyone. Like these people, it could be a group of children, a group of students, a group of locals. It could be propagated by anyone. Yeah. So here, what matters most is the idea. Like I said, the motto, the purpose they have, that makes it more powerful. Even Greta Thunberg, she was a very young, she's very young, and but she made the whole world think, right? Yes. So even like scholars who work in like these humanities, like green humanities or environmental humanities, they quote Greta Thunberg. So that's the impact we are talking about. So it's not about who is doing or how many members are doing, like what are your qualifications or what are your position. It's just that it begins with a single idea. So so that idea, it's what it becomes more powerful. Okay. So now we have been talking about social change, the motto, purpose, idea behind social change. So now let me put this question. So do you agree that emotions drive social change more than logic? Why or why not? You can agree or disagree also, and you can unmute and speak.
Ma'am, I actually agree this point because when people are at times they do see logic, but they are more emotionally connected. If, for example, if in some circumstances we need to cut trees for industrial development, but at that cost, when you are seeing emotionally, oh, these trees are going, so emotion plays major role than logic. So I agree.
Yes, yes, Praneeth. Thank you. Again, I think we can talk about the Chipko movement itself. So it's that basic emotion, right? It's more than just a tree. So the very act of hugging something, it's like whom do you hug? Like someone you love, someone who you cherish, someone who you doesn't want to lose. So those people regarded the trees so much, so they simply went and hugged the tree. They doesn't want to leave, like let go of the tree. Like there are huge reasons behind it, like the effects of deforestation and the effects, like the effects it might cause on the planet or the earth. We have all those aspects aside, but emotionally they were connected to that tree, right? So I don't want to cut you, like don't want you to cut the tree. So they went and hugged. So we can see that they had this emotional appeal. And what connects us, like we have been discussing from the first session, it's the human need, emotion, to feel things, to emote. So we are hugely driven by emotions, right? Yes. People are binded with emotion more than logic. Yes. So even when we were speaking about the freedom struggle or Indian freedom struggle, so what is that one thing that comes to our mind? That emotion that we are all Indians, that we are all in this together. So that is that emotional side of us. That is what makes us feel bad, right? Okay, some injustice is happening, and we need to bring forth change. So even when I ask, like, what comes to you when you think of the word social change, you can even say emotions, right? Because that is the one factor that gives us the push. We feel emotional, we feel belonged, we can. So as humans, we are part of this larger collective called society, then a community, then a country. So we are able to feel things, right? Yeah. Okay, any more responses?
And even during the freedom movement, if at that time the British were so powerful, so that if the people also think logically how we can protest against them, but still the emotion inside them made that it is our land, how they are doing. So emotions made the social change and the independence we got.
Yes, Praneeth. Yeah, I agree with you. Yes. We all, like, even when we watch movies, like, we cry, right? Even when I read books, when we watch movies, when we listen to songs, why do we cry? We know that it is fictional, we know that it is not true, but why do we relate to it? Like, even when you all watched Avatar, so this is a recent movie I watched, so I'm giving this example. So we can see when the Tulkans are being attacked, we feel emotionally connected, right? Oh, don't feel those animals. So those are all imaginary, but it's hugely based on real life experiences. But we still feel for it, right? Like, don't kill animals. Like, so what appeals to my side? It first appeals to my emotional side. So it yeah, so it that's what makes us human, right? Yeah, so I also agree with it. Yeah, of course logic is there. We need to rationally think, and we need to know about what are the motto or what are the idea behind a protest before supporting it. But the first thing that appeals to us is like the emotions. So people are getting affected, like even the Me Too movement or Black Lives movement there when we saw. So it's like a man, like a black man, is he's being killed by the police. So what appeals to my side, my human side? So it's completely unacceptable to commit such crime based on race, caste, or gender. So what appeals to us is like the emotional side. Yes. Any more responses, or we can move on to the next question? We can also say why logic also derives emotion, because emotions take us to some extent only. Maybe it forces us to take a step. But again, we need logic. Like I said, for every organization, they have a slogan. They should have their terms. They should know what they are protesting against, right? They cannot be simply also driven by emotional side, like not just with rage or anger. So anger and rage are good, but you also need to have a motive or a purpose. So why am I doing this? Why am I participating in this protest? Or why do we need social justice? Or what kind of solutions can be taken care of? So that is also there, right? So we can also agree, like, emotions, that is the first push that drives us to support or to question an injustice that is happening in front of us. But logic comes with it, like what are the solutions that can be made, how can I support them, like what can the steps, like what could be my contribution in this particular situation. So we can say, like, it goes both hand in hand. Yeah, we can change the people mind easily with emotion than logic. Yeah, that is also there. You can, like, easily convince people. Yeah, that is how, like, people are also, like, being convinced to join a certain organization, right? Yeah. Like, how is it working? It's not just a logic. If it works on logic, then yeah, like, why would people join an organization? Like, there are a lot of these, like, so many organization. It could be anything, any organization as such. So if I'm joining it, okay, I should first agree it with my rational mind, but even before that, it should appeal to me emotionally, right? And like you said, if people can also be blackmailed or misled into joining certain organizations as well. Yes, that is also there. they can also take advantage of these emotions. Yeah. So we have a lot of these people, like we have anarchists as well. Like, so we spoke about social justice, protest movement, culture, counterculture. We also have anarchists, like people who go against this governmental thing or dictatorship, and they want to take matter into their own hands. So what drives them? Even though they have a motto or anything, like motto or purpose, what drives them first? It's that emotion, right? It could be some injustice done to them, like anger, rage, or could be anything, the loss of loved one or something like government or policy or not being helpful. They were forced into such situation that they became like anarchist or something. So I'm not supporting anarchism like as such, but I'm just looking at the different aspects, like how emotions play a major role in like pulling people together or making them drift apart. So yeah. I think we can move on to the next slide. So when I asked about the powerful medium, you all suggested social media, but still I'm asking this question. Like I want you to think of a recent campaign or a political movement, a social movement, or anything, any kind, like we have been discussing. I gave you a few examples, right? Like online or offline. And you can tell me like what made it powerful and how it impacted you, anything. It could be, like I said, it could be like a hashtag or any movement like you supported or against or something. It could be anything as simple as that, something that happened in your area or like not necessarily a historical social change movement, something that which you saw and why do you think it was powerful? Then we can discuss more about it. Yes, Prani?
Recently the government ordered that minings can be given to Aravalli range. It led to a huge spark that Aravalli as an important geographical factor. They're going to destroy it. Many people opposed it very strong. That even the court suspended it. So yes, the strong firm of the people to save Aravalli. Everyone opposed it all over the country. So yeah, that
Yes.
was one of the recent moments.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you so much, Praneeth. Yeah, we can see, like I said, now we are all very aware of what's happening around. And like I also see a lot of opposition even in Instagram and Facebook. Lot of people spoke about it and they like spoke about the significance and importance of Aravali and like why it shouldn't be done. Yes, yes, we can see like this awareness we have and a lot of people opposing it. It's a very good thing. Yes, good example. Thank you, Praneeth. Yes, Mahesh.
Ma'am, actually, it's not as a reason, but it just affected the whole world. Uh, Taking over director's role or the creative part in movies, especially that took a major role of boycotting in Hollywood area. So I think nowadays age has become a great thing. Just like we can just identify what's this a product or not, as like you. I was too confused in many areas. So AI has just took over many uh, wide fields in the society, just like it took over the creative area. So the future field of the directors became a question mark, no? So I think that's one of the greatest thing that I got in my mind.
Yes, yes, Mahesh. Thank you for bringing in that aspect as well. Yeah, I think we are all familiar with the Ghibli trend as well. Yeah, I think most of you would have done it as well. But we can see like how the artist spent his entire life in creating such art. But now, like nowadays, when now we can just enter the keywords or some kind of prompt, and we are able to generate it, right? Yeah. Yeah, like you said, AI has of course made our lives easier, but it also robbed us, like robbed artists or other kind of creative directors, like who are in the creative fields as well, right? Yeah, we also need to acknowledge the fact that like how difficult it is to create art. And like I said, like now, this is our life today, right? The moment I saw a video or a picture or a painting, the first question we ask is like, is it AI or not? So yeah, thank you. Like it's a very important discussion that we should be doing, and we all should think in this aspect, like what are the steps we can take and like to make this takeover of AI. And also, yeah, like we should give importance to artists, respect their work, and yes, we need to promote the works of artists and other creative directors or creative workers. Yes, good point, Manish. Yes. Anything else? Pretty sure you guys would have seen something. Anything, like something, or you guys were part of.
Though some campaigns are successful, but some campaigns come at the moment for 1 or 2 days, but it's being suppressed like a past for I think before 2 months, Bangladesh Hindu was burnt alive. That had made a spark for a few days, but there is no action or anything that has been taken significantly. And also the allegations on now recent protest in Iran, which is not shown that effective as a Palestine-Israeli war, but there is also conflict in between Iran and the in Syria, the exploits of resources by UAE. Yes, but some news are not reaching out many people. About, though it reaches, it had not much effect.
Yeah, like we also need to observe this thing. So I was talking about flashbulb memory, right? I'm pretty sure, like in one of the classes, I was talking about this flashbulb memory. So flashbulb memory is a phenomenon where people, like when they were given a news about something like say tsunami or some kind of attacks or anything, so people were being observed in the situation, like, and people still remember that where they heard the news first, what were they doing. So that was the impact we had. So now with this information overload, I'm pretty sure like we are all becoming some sort of immune to these newses, right? Like not just this news or anything, any news, like a war is going on, something is happening, or whatever. Like we have been living in this age of crisis. We just work in pandemic crisis. Now we live in this like ecological crisis. We have global warming, deforestation, and even the political scenario is not great. And we have ongoing war. War is happening all around us. But I don't know if it is we are living in this Instagram age or like informational age. We are so often exposed to such kinds of news, so it's not no longer it's like uh appealing to our emotional side like it used to be. So this is what I was observing. Okay, so what have we become? Like, so with this informational fatigue, so we have become some sort of resistant or immune to such consuming such news, right? So like I was saying, so this flashbulb memories, this articles was written on this 9/11 Mumbai attacks, and it was about a group of people and they were doing at that time when they received the news. And still, people would remember, okay, it happened during this time. I was in this place when I received the news. Even I shared a very personal memory, right? So when this tsunami hit, so I still remember the day watching it on TV and how it affected so many lives. And it is something, it's so impactful for me. Still, I remember that day. Like, and I felt like it's a very personal loss for me. And I could see the people there, and like, it felt like a personal loss. And I could still remember the day I consumed that news. But today, we have a lot going on, right? Like emotional crisis, political crisis, this war, so many things are going, but I don't know if is it the emotional fatigue or we don't know what to believe. Like, is it AI or is it man-made? Is it real or true? So our emotional side is not appealing. Like the emotions are not coming out. Like I said, we have become some sort of immune to reacting to such news. So I don't know. I think we as a society or we as a group, we need to seriously reconsider this or like what is going on with this. Yeah. So, any thoughts on this? Like, have you ever felt like, okay, something is going on, but you are like emotionally distant from that case, right? Anyone wants to talk about this? Like,
Ma'am,
I think in one, yeah, yes, Saranand, yes.
ma'am, when the question has appeared, I just think about the Operation Sindoor, ma'am. Because when the terrorist had shot the innocent Indian tourist at Pahalgam on April 22, 2025, our government had taken some steps in online, ma'am, like blocking the Instagram accounts of the Pakistanis in India, but it caused no such emotionally attack on Pakistanis. So our government had launched a first step like blocking the flowing of river Indus. Like I couldn't remember the name of the river, but it's called the Indus Pact. No, I might not understand. And the next thing the Indian government had taken was the Operation Sindoor, ma'am. So I agreed with the movement offline.
Yeah. Yes. Any more examples? Like, because like we are like chronically online. So I was, so I'm also taking a break from Instagram recently. I'm calling it a digital detox myself. So I was reading this article by one of these authors. He's a very popular memory studies author, Andrew Hoskins. And he says that there is no such thing called digital detox because we are all addicts already. So like I said, like we are so entwined with technology, right? So if I had to connect with you, I'm connecting in Zoom. If I have to talk to my family, I'm calling them in my phone. I'm using WhatsApp. So yeah, we are all chronically online, right? And we are like constantly like fed with information, even though I don't want to consume. So even though I've logged out of Instagram, like, but I have other sources of getting information, right? So like I said earlier, those days, like when I was in school or like when my parents used to watch news on the TV, so they used to wait for the 7 o'clock news. Okay, that is the official thing, and whatever that comes at the 7 o'clock news, it can be believed and it should be believed. That is the single truth. No other negotiations. Like there was no confusion. Like is this true or not? So now when I look at something, I already get I get it in my insurance, or I get it in my Instagram feed or YouTube, Facebook, everything I'm getting it right. Or someone would have uploaded a story about it or something. I would hear it anyway. So now my first thing is I need to check my sources. Okay, is this true or not? Okay, if it's from WhatsApp, it is less likely to be trusted. If it is Facebook, I cannot trust it. Okay, if it is from Instagram, I can trust it, but I still need to check my sources. So that is the state we are living in, right? So like I said, we are all forced to consume news. So like has our emotional appeal to certain things have come down. We should really think about it. Maybe you all can think about it and bring in your observations as well. Like we have become emotionally restrained and yeah. So with this, I will move on to the next question. Okay. Why is it already marked? I don't know. Okay, some kind of glitch, I guess. Okay, if you were to start a movement for, say, climate change awareness, like which is need of the hour, so which medium would you use first? You can choose the medium, and I also want you to talk about like why would you do that? Now we have been discussing about a lot of mediums, right? Short film or documentary, one of you are voted. Viral social media campaign, okay. Anyone else? Figure out waiting for a few more minutes. Okay, a lot of you have voted for social media campaign. Again, like we have discussed it, right? Okay, now like I want to hear from you. why do you think social media campaign? Why not a blog? Okay, book is a very huge process. Why not a blog? Blog is also easier to pour in your thoughts, right? Short film also rather simple than movies. So why do you think social media?
Ma'am, it's about reaching the people. All these four forms are available to people. They can access anything. But in social media, while scrolling or just seeing a post, you can see what's happening. Just you can raise your thoughts and oppose it. You can share it to anyone. So it's all about connecting people. So yeah,
Yes.
all about knowing the people in social media.
Yes, Praneeth. Even like I was speaking 2 minutes ago, say if it is a movie or a song or a blog or a book, I have the option to go through with it or not. If it is a blog, only if I enter the blog, I can read it. If it is a short film, only if I click through the link, or if it is a video, I need to watch it. But if it is a social media post, like you said, even the algorithm works that way, right? Even though I don't want to see certain things, it ends up in my feed. It says like three other friends like this video, three of your mutual friends saw this video, your friend of friend, you might be interested. So it's like I'm forced to consume information, like I was talking few minutes ago. It's like even though I don't want to, and the algorithm it keeps refreshing every day, right? It's not like even though I curate a specific algorithm, like say I want to watch content of like certain topics, but every day it gets refreshed, right? And whatever this viral reels that is going on or whatever is trending at that some point of the time, I'm forced to watch it, like you said. So that gives us the reach, right? So now let's say I open a public account and I just post something. So there are a lot of chances it gets at least 100 views, right? Say for in within a day at least. Like 100 is less actually. I have seen like even like not like even a new account. I'm not just talking about verified accounts or accounts with a lot of followers. Like it could be any public account with just a few hundred followers, it still has thousands of views, right? That is the range I'm talking about. So, say if I write a blog or a book or a song, even music videos, I don't know, it has so many views now. But if I post a reel or if I make a post, like, and there is this thing, like I said, there is this participatory culture as well, right? People can repost my video. You can repost it in your story, and you can say like support my friend, or you can post it in your feed. I can make collaborative reels. We can comment, we can share, we can repost. So yeah, so it gives that option to spread widely and to reach a global audience, right? Yeah, so that is the scale we are talking about. So there is this participatory culture was coined by um, Jenkins, so you can read about it. So it's very interesting, like how like social media gives us this space to, it's just two-way. It's not just a one-way process. It's two-way process, and it is happening immediately. So if I have to read a book and I have to write to the author, I need to read the book, then I need to write to the author, and then I have to mail the author or something. But if I make a post on Instagram, you can immediately contact with me, right? You can engage with me via comment, like, share, repost, or resharing in story. So yeah, like Praneeth said, it's very easier, it's very accessible. And any video, if I post today and if I put it in open account, it will reach less, more likely 1,000 views, I would say. But if the content is good, or if it is something that is the need of the hour, or if the content, yeah, like I said, it has more prospects of reaching more than 1,000 views. So yeah, that is the thing we are talking about. Look, getting 1,000 views, it's like a huge thing, right? Yeah. So I think with that, I have come to the end of the presentation. So if you have anything to share or anything to ask, can go ahead. Then I'm going to stop sharing. Yeah. So like you can share anything like regarding to what we discussed today or something or anything else. And regarding the questions, I think all of you are able to access the discussion forum, right? Like, yeah, like few of your classmates also raised few questions in the forum and I've also replied. I think you're all able to access it. And in the G form also, if you have any questions, and I would prefer you asking questions to me directly because you can get immediate answers. So yeah, like I'm so happy, like a lot of you interacted today, and I'm looking forward to hear more from you. So yeah, anything you want to share? You can even show your faces also. It's good to meet you. So I'm looking forward to hear more of you. Okay, today, okay, I think a lot of you spoke. Mahesh, Praneeth, Saravana, like a lot of you. So I'm looking for more people to speak in the next class. Okay, then there is nothing. I will let you go. You go have a happy weekend. And thanks again for joining on a Saturday evening and for being so interactive and sharing your thoughts and opinions. And I'm looking forward to more and more of such discussions. So, yeah. So, meet you all next week and bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Praneeth. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.